All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Lots to talk about today. Lots of more information coming out after the Xbox showcase and Summer Games Fest and everything. And we're going to start off talking about some Call of Duty news. But before we do jump into it, if you do enjoy daily gaming news, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out the link to my Spotify in the description of this video. So Call of Duty Black Ops 6 obviously had a huge presence at the Xbox showcase. They kicked off the main show with it, and then they had the direct after it. And the game looks really good. They're doing a lot of things that people are going to be excited for, bringing things back like the prestige and everything that people have wanted, I think, for the last few Call of Duties. It's all coming back. And from what we saw from the multiplayer to the campaign and to the zombies, looks like it is going to be a ton of fun. But one of the major things that has kind of plagued Call of Duty, at least in my opinion, over the last number of years has been locking exclusive content to a singular platform, splitting up the community, and it wasn't anything that really added to the game. And luckily that is going away now that Xbox has acquired ABK. We heard Phil Spencer touch on that during the Xbox showcase, and he talks about it again during his interview with IGN. He specifically, I would say, is kind of calling out PlayStation for what they did when they were locking content exclusively to Call of Duty on PlayStation, the beta early, and sometimes there was just content that, like maps and things, that would just split up the community and just wasn't good, especially for a game that was a cross-platform game where everybody was playing together. But this was at IGN Live, and it says here, in an on-stage interview at IGN Live, the Microsoft gaming CEO is discussing the company's acquisition of Activision Blizzard and how it motivated the team to find new players when the topic of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 coming to Game Pass was brought up. And Spencer replied that playing the game on Game Pass was one of the numerous ways to play the game, and that he wasn't interested in using slimy exclusivity tactics to make players opt for a specific platform. He says, "It's a choice. We didn't say to anybody you have to subscribe to play. If you want to buy Black Ops 6, that's great. It's great for us. It's great for the developer. If you want to subscribe, it's also great." Continues here and says, "I want to give you the choice on how you play your games and who you play with, and not try to do slimy platform things to force you to do what I want you to do." And honestly, I think that is a great thing. I mean, that is a great way to put it. Now, you could look at it and kind of be cynical. You could look at it in a couple of ways. He's probably one of the major reasons he is saying this and calling out these slimy tactics and just being so adamant that they are not going to have exclusivity. It's going to be parity across the board for this game, is because of the whole fight they have to go through with the regulatory bodies who wanted to make sure that was a thing. So I guess you could kind of say the regulatory bodies sort of did a good thing here by challenging the deal so much that now we definitely know across all platforms everybody's on the same playing field and there won't be a split up of the community. I have a feeling they probably wouldn't have done anything really anyways, because for them, Call of Duty having parity across the board no matter what is a win-win. They don't really care where you play or what platform you buy it on, because that money is still going back to Xbox so that they can reinvest into Game Pass and reinvest into making their games. They just want as many people playing the game as possible. So I doubt they would have done anything there to split up the gamers. There wouldn't have really been a major incentive. But all in all, it's great he's calling that out, because that was one of the most annoying things for me and for a lot of people over the last number of years. And that's going away. I don't think we're going to see that happen anymore with Call of Duty now that it is under Xbox and that they own ABK. And we got some more information here. One of the things that people were doom and glooming about when Xbox was putting Call of Duty into Game Pass and stuff, people were thinking, oh, this is their last ditch effort to revitalize Game Pass, which I think is absurd. And we saw that, especially at this showcase with the amount of games coming over to Xbox Game Pass. In fact, I believe there are 18 games coming. Yeah, there are 18 games coming day one to Game Pass. Aaron Greenberg put this tweet out, which is insane. If you look at this lineup of the games coming over to Xbox Game Pass, this does not in any way look like a service that is unsustainable or going anywhere anytime soon. And Call of Duty going into Game Pass is just going to bolster it. And as I said when they made that announcement, is I thought it's not going to hurt the sales so much that Call of Duty isn't going to be a top selling game of the year. I think it will still be a top selling game because people are going to be buying it everywhere. They're going to buy it on Xbox. They're going to buy it on Steam. They're going to buy it on PlayStation. And in fact, you can upgrade to the Vault Edition if you own Game Pass for $30. You get the Vault Edition. Those are all going to be included as some sales numbers in some way for Call of Duty. I mean, it's going to sell incredibly well. And we already have proof of this. I mean, this is right after people saw Black Ops 6. A lot of people are very excited for it. This is a Steam charts of top sellers. And it says, and just like that, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 pre-order is the best-selling item in Steam right now. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm right yet about Call of Duty still being the best-selling game of the year, even though it is a Game Pass, but things are looking pretty promising. We'll have to see how it plays out. And you have to remember, I mean, this game releases at the end of the year, every year, and still becomes the best-selling game of that specific year. And I think it will not change for 2024, and the pre-orders are kind of signaling that at the moment. I mean, we'll see what happens, and we'll definitely talk about it once 2024 is finished. Now, we also have some more information here. This is something I think a lot of people are going to be excited about, myself included. Classic Prestige is returning to Black Ops 6. So military ranks levels 1 to 55. And at level 55, Prestige begins. There will be 10 Prestiges available. They say some things reset every Prestige. After 10th Prestige, Prestige Master with 1,000 additional levels. All at launch, no seasonal level cap. I mean, that's great. It was finally back that we're going back to this Prestige, the Classic Prestige. Right now, I understand the game was in development far before ABK was acquired by Xbox, and I understand Xbox probably has honestly very little to do with the overall finishing and development of this game other than just going through the whole transition. But the first game released under Xbox Game Studios from a Call of Duty title is looking like it could potentially be one of the best ones. And it's a little premature, but we'll see how it plays out. It just looks like it's going to be a ton of fun, and the content looks like it is going to be there, especially right at launch as well. And then we have this. It looks like the beta times for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has been leaked. This is via Game UK's listing card, and it looks like the game is going to be having the beta from August 28th through to September 3rd. It says a game exclusive. They go on and say the beta is available for pre-orders, and the closed pre-order for the beta is from the 28th to August 3rd, and then you're going to get access to it. And again, the beta is going to be on all platforms, all at the same time. No segmented beta. Everyone will be playing it together, which is going to be a nice change here from what we usually see. Now, I know I've talked about how I loved the Xbox showcase, and a lot of people have said that they love it. It's not just Xbox fans. You can see here, Geoff Keighley did put out a poll, and 65.6% of people voted that the Xbox Showcase plus the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Direct was an A. And this is 914,000 people viewed the post, but 166,503 votes landed in this poll. The highest I think I saw it at last night was at 72% or something along those lines, with a ton of votes in there. But now you can really see that most people loved it. That's how good that showcase was. I think it's going to have some good effects here for Xbox, their future, for people playing on the platform, signing up to Game Pass, and maybe going out and buying more of the Xbox console. So it is unanimous now that the showcase was an A. And if you can go higher than that, for me, it'd be pretty much an A+. That's how much I enjoyed it. And one of the things at the showcase that blew a lot of people away was Gears of War E-Day's trailer. Like, if you're just sitting back and watching that trailer, you're thinking, okay, this is a CGI trailer. I mean, this is not in-game footage. You probably missed the writing at the bottom and everything. If you're just sitting, you're not paying attention to every little thing on screen, that's an easy mistake to make. But what is crazy about this is actually in-game footage. And this game itself, they're saying, is going to have all those details that we are seeing in the trailer, which is kind of mind-blowing. Geoff Keighley kind of got schooled a little bit here. He tweets this out and says, "The great Gears of War piece was a CG from Blur Studio using in-game assets from UE5. And he writes, Game Info, Gears of War E-Day is the next mainline game in the Gears of War universe set during the pivotal Emergence Day. 14 years before Gears of War, heroes Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago return home to face a new nightmare, the Locust Horde. These subterranean monsters, grotesque and relentless, erupt from below, laying siege on humanity itself." So he explains the game, and he says it's a CG trailer from Blur Studios using those in-game assets. And you kind of get schooled here. You have Guy Welsh, who is the Xbox marketing director for Halo and Gears of War, responding to Geoff Keighley saying, "Glad you liked it. Blur developed the trailer hand in hand with our team at the Coalition using Unreal Engine 5, and the trailer is developed with in-game models, textures, environments, and props that players will see in the final game." So that's pretty crazy because everything looked phenomenal, but it's not really that surprising from the Coalition from what we've seen from them. I mean, they, I think, probably have the highest, they're one of the highest quality outputs out of all of Xbox game studios. You know, when they're putting out a game, it is going to look phenomenal, play phenomenal, all that stuff. Continues here and says, "This follows the same method that we use for Gears of War trailers for the first 3 games, which were made in Unreal Engine with in-game assets, showcasing the engine's technical capabilities, and we're pushing that even further with Unreal Engine 5. And we have this here, Jameer Blanco, who is the digital sculptor, cinematic character creator artist at Blizzard Entertainment, previously worked at Square Enix and stuff. And quote tweets Geoff Keighley saying, "Let me rephrase this a little better. The amazing Gears piece you just saw was full real time with real time models, textures, environments, etc., all within Unreal Engine 5. Saying it was a CG from Blur Studio diminishes all the technical achievements you probably didn't notice from how good it was." And I mean, like I said, if you're just sitting there as a consumer watching it, you're not going to really clue in on just how insane technically that trailer was. Continues here and says, "Though it looks like another pre-rendered CG piece from Blur, it was actually a real-time masterpiece using in-game assets and RT lighting in the same engine the game will play. Already seeing people say, yeah, it was cool, but it was CG pre-rendered trailer because of stuff like this." So it wasn't CG pre-rendered. These are assets you're going to see in game. Gears of War E-Day is, I think, going to be one of the best looking games we see. And we've already seen Hellblade 2. I just think Gears of War, there's so much more to that game, gameplay wise and everything. And they're going to be able to all pack that into a game. It's going to be insane. I can't wait. To me, the question still is, what is this releasing for? Is this coming out on the current consoles? Are we seeing this before the end of this generation? Or is this still a number of years out where it is going to be maybe a launch title for the next gen Xbox? I think will end up being a cross gen, but are they going to have like an upgraded version for whatever the next piece of main hardware Xbox does put out? As you can tell, like I said, like I'm wearing a Delta Squad shirt. I love Gears. I can't wait for this. This is the game I'm most hyped for out of everything at the showcase, the game I'm looking forward to the most. But one of the games I'm looking forward to most this year is Avowed. And Avowed looks like we got a release date. I think it was leaked and then taken away and then maybe confirmed later. But it looks like the release date for Avowed is November 12th, 2024. This is via Carrie Patel, the game director. And she says, "The last few months of the Symphony Entertainment have been fast-paced and exciting. Since we saw you at the Xbox Developer Direct this past January, we've been busy with Avowed, getting it ready for release on November 12th, 2024. Today, we're thrilled to have released our first ever story trailer at Xbox Game Pass Showcase 2024 and to talk with you more about what we shared." So November is looking like it's the day that we're going to be playing Avowed. And we got a bunch more details on Avowed yesterday, because they had the Xbox podcast and they did a deep dive into the game. And just a reminder, today there is the Metal Gear Solid Delta deep dive Xbox podcast thing they're doing. So that's going to be cool too. But this was the Avowed, and this is the information we have. One of the best things I think a lot of people are happy about is that there is a third person camera. Yes, everything we've pretty much seen has been in first person. You can even see here from this gameplay down here, but you can go to third person just like you can do with the Bethesda games stuff. So that's great. It says team spent a lot of time improving combat animations after the dev direct feedback. And I think you can see that when you're watching the gameplay now, that you can see the improvements in the combat. It says party camp, where you can talk to companions, upgrade gear, move items between you and your party stash. There's a respec in this game that's been confirmed. If you're under-leveled, enemies will take a lot longer to kill and seem to take less staggers. So you really have to upgrade your character. I like that. I like how you have to actually work in an RPG to be able to advance. It says weapons will get new animations and sound effects as you upgrade. Multiple ways to get through barriers. There's dialogue trees with skill checks tied to specific attributes. Companions can banter with each other in addition to the player, and game is in the polishing phase, feeling very good about a 2024 release. So, I mean, from what we've been told already now that it is coming November 12th, that's what they're aiming for. If they're in the polishing phase, that looks like you can pretty much lock that one in unless something crazy does happen. Now, a couple more things here. We did see Dragon Age Veilguard at the Xbox Games Showcase 2024, and they showed a quick sneak peek here of what we can expect gameplay wise. But today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're going to be doing a full reveal. I think it's going to be like a 20-minute deep dive into the game. And this is one of the games that I'm very interested in because I like the Dragon Age series. But as we know, Dragon Age has gone through some tumultuous times. People have lost faith in BioWare, I think. So there's a lot riding on this game, and a lot of people are seeing if they can bounce back with it. It looks pretty cool to me. And we have a bit more information kind of what this game is going to be about. And obviously we'll get a lot more after they do the showcase. But here's some new details via Shinobi on X saying there's 6 factions to choose from when you create your character, all with deep roots in Thedas, Antivin Crows, Grey Wardens, Shadow Dragons, and more. You can customize your Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition in the character creator and make a few key decisions that will impact how the Veilguard begins. And there is confirmation here that Scout Harding is a romance option. And that's pretty much it right now, but we're going to get a lot more information today. I'm pretty excited to see this game, and I think I'm going to give it a pretty good chance here to impress me. And if it doesn't, I won't play it, but it's one that I'm hoping hits because I do want to play it when it does come out. And then we have just some more games coming to the iPhone and iPad and everything. Like, this is going to be, I think, a big change in gaming. If you're going to be able to play your games on an iPhone, big AAA games, I wonder how that will really impact what people go out and buy, specifically in the handheld market. But more Resident Evil games are coming to iPhone, iPad, and Mac. This is a tweet that they did put out. Welcome to the family. Soon, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard joins Apple's family on July 2nd, coming to iPhone 15 Pro models and every iPad and Mac with the M1 chip or later. And Resident Evil 2 is also in development for the iPhone, iPad, and Mac. So just more games coming over to those Apple devices. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.